You check your phone after borrowing airtime, and there it is, a balance of minus 500 shillings. The screen says you have less than zero. To understand how less than zero works, we have to start at the baseline. When counting physical objects, like the matatus packed into a taxi park, we use natural numbers. You start at 1 and count up. If we include 0 to represent having nothing, we expand our vocabulary into whole numbers. But real life requires us to measure debts and deficits, which means we need the negative opposites of those numbers. When we combine the positives, the 0, and the negatives together, we get integers. Integers give us the complete mathematical alphabet required to accurately describe both holding an asset and owing a debt. A directed number possesses both a size and a specific direction. On the peaks of the Rwenzori Mountains, temperatures regularly drop below the freezing baseline, shifting from positive to negative values. We map this spatial relationship onto a number line. 0 sits at the origin. Everything to the right moves in a positive direction, indicating savings or elevation. Everything to the left moves in a negative direction, indicating debt or a drop below freezing. Adding positive value pushes your position to the right. Subtracting positive value, or adding a negative debt to your account, pushes your position to the left, deeper into a deficit. This spatial logic explains why multiplying two negatives creates a positive. Think of the first negative as an instruction to face the opposite direction. If you multiply by a second negative, you are essentially receiving a command to flip your direction again. Because you have inverted your direction twice, you are now facing the positive side of the number line. Mathematically, two negatives cancel out each other's direction, resulting in a positive forward movement. Once you establish negative and positive numbers, you must follow a structural map to solve equations that contain competing operations. This map is BODMAS, brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Pay close attention to the equal priority rule. Division and multiplication share the same rank, as do addition and subtraction. When you encounter a tie between them, you always solve from left to right. Let's apply this hierarchy to a complex equation. We first prioritize the brackets, adding 4 and 2 to get 6. Next, we have a subtraction and a multiplication. Multiplication holds the higher rank. 6 times 3 gives us 18. Finally, we execute the remaining subtraction, leaving us with our correct answer, 2. Now, test the rules yourself. Pause the video, look for the highest priority operation, and solve the equation on screen. Check your steps. The brackets give you a 6. Division comes next. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Finally, you add 5 to reach a final answer of 9. Mathematics relies on a predictable syntax. This specific order ensures that every student, teacher, or accountant reaches the exact same conclusion when solving the same problem. To see how integers and operational rules work in reality, let's track the cash flow of a small shop operating in a busy Kampala market. On Monday, the shop owner, Kato, opens his cash box to find 50,000 shillings. We record this starting cash as a positive integer. On Tuesday, Kato takes a delivery of new goods on credit worth 80,000 shillings. By subtracting the 80,000 from his 50,000 on hand, his balance drops below 0. He is now operating at a negative 30,000 shilling deficit. On Wednesday, Kato makes cash sales totaling 45,000 shillings. We add that positive value to his negative balance, pulling his total out of the red. The math leaves him with a final balance of positive 15,000 shillings. In physical terms, Kato has cleared his credit deficit entirely and holds tangible cash profit in his hand. Remember your 3 unbreakable laws. First, track additions and subtractions spatially using the number line. Second, remember that multiplying two negative numbers cancels the inversion to equal a positive. Third, always resolve equations using the BODMAS hierarchy. Mastering integers and operational hierarchies provides you with the exact toolkit required to ensure you always know where your balance stands in the real world.